As I sit here working on our 12th episode, I reflect on a lot of the experiences this series has given me and the many people I've met as a result of this program. It reminds me of when I first decided to jump onto the old Satanic bandwagon back in the 1990s. I remember internet groups like Alt-Satanism, which might still be around after all this time. Anyway, my memory of that news group and that decade consists of a lot of conflicts between basically two types of Satanists that I personally identify and label as the following: the LaVeyan atheists and the traditional devil worshippers. Pardon me if I'm oversimplifying things, but I don't have a lot of time right now. Back then, both groups seemed to be constantly insulting each other via arguments which went a little something like this: is so, is not, is so, is not, does so, does not, tomato, tomato, envelope, envelope, wabbit season, duck season. So as you've guessed, it all got pretty pointless. I assumed that the odds of the two groups getting along were about as likely as finding a condom next to Ellen DeGeneres' bed. But flash forward to 2006 when this here program was officially created. No two cast members have the exact same positions, opinions, or definitions, and we all get along and enjoy working with each other. I mean, I myself am the most non-superstitious skeptic you'll ever meet. To me, Satanism is a tool and a gimmick. I perceive Satanism as generic anarchy, a celebration of decadence and rebellion against the Middle Eastern religions that have taken over and brought us Muslim terrorists, greedy Jews, and conservative right-wing Christian oppressors. Like I said, to me, Satanism is just an attitude. If you're curious to hear more of my personal take on things, you can seek out the Peter Gilmore interview on The Hour. Otherwise, I never heard of the program The Hour, but the last time I checked, the segment was readily found on YouTube, the Satanic News Network, and probably other sites. Anyway, that piece pretty much describes me to a T. But these are my personal opinions. During the course of this series, I've worked with a lot of people who do, in fact, believe in anthropomorphic deities, magic, devils, demons, and a literal creature called Satan. I respect their opinions. I'm glad they're believers. If we all agreed on everything and had the exact same perceptions and upbringings, then the world would be as exciting as watching a chess game in slow motion. But enough on me and my often scoffed at opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 2 of Iguana vs. Dog.
Here we go.
No, Claire, don't turn your back on him. Jeez.
I've noticed that the majority of the people who want to do these rituals with you are kind of squeamish about being on the cameras. What's your overall opinion about these, and how do you think we can go ahead and build up the confidence just to say, you know what, we're comfortable, we do what we do, we like to, we don't care, you know, we are who we are. Do you have any opinions towards that?
First Amendment aside, there are real risks for some people as far as, you know, with their families, possibly their jobs. Technically, you cannot get fired from your job or kicked out of your home for being a Satanist or a witch or anything like that because of religious protections. But, you know, people find ways around that, you know, and you could still be harassed or even physically threatened. So I understand why a lot of people are squeamish or nervous about having their faces shown publicly participating in these sort of rituals. What I would hope would happen, we'll get more people who are willing to say, you know, to hell with it, so to speak. People know what I am, all the better. And of course there's always the another possibility. People in many of these rites traditionally could wear hoods and masks and things like that. So that's another way for people to actually be seen without being recognized.
Kind of an anonymous.
Yeah, an anonymous way to get involved and be filmed without having your identity put out there. And then, of course, you know, the news stations can always edit things. Of course, we'd want to make certain that they edit it so that people who didn't want to have their faces seen could have it that way. What I would hope would eventually happen was that we would become a large enough community that people would feel proud to be able to say, this is what I am. There's always repercussions for decisions that we make. If someone from a Muslim household converts to Christianity, that's a huge step. If someone who's a Christian decides that they're an atheist, that's not going to usually make their family very happy. But that's still a step that they're usually willing to take and willing to make known. I'm hoping that once we've educated people enough, and once there's enough exposure, perhaps people would be more willing to be open about their affiliation.
As addressed in a previous episode, there's a misconception that people in the satanic community deal with sacrificial animals. Here's a quote from the Satanic Bible. Under no circumstances would a Satanist sacrifice any animal or baby.
However, I admit to being a two-faced hypocrite, and before your very eyes I shall sacrifice an animal or two, or three, or four. Would you get that damn guinea pig out of the way? I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to sacrifice some goddamn flies that keep flying into my house and spreading disease. They're not an endangered species. I'm not worried about those damn flies.
Yeah. Hey, let me try.
Okay, here you go, Courtney Haight. Go ahead, aim. Kill it.
Here, why don't you try?
All right.
I'll show you how to go and sacrifice some flies.
Alright, let me try. Let me get one. Yeah, okay, you try it.
Oh, it's crawling on the floor. It's still alive.
Not for long.
This fly will die a quick death and be sacrificed to become pet food in much the same way that Alpo, Purina, Friskies, and Science Diet sacrifice mammals, birds, and fishes.
Do you think I'll do it? Well, wow. Oh. Oh, cool!
So there you have it. That's as close as I'll ever come to having sacrificial animals. Hell, most Satanists would never take part in activities involving sacrificial animals, and I myself would never encourage hunting or fishing. So as you can see, I think each and every one of us deals with animal sacrifice at some time in our lives. But the flies that I sacrificed went to a good cause. My scorpions are totally lovable. Mwah! Now, I would never sacrifice or harm a larger animal. I would not do that to a mammal or a reptile or an amphibian. If I were to harm birds or mammals, then I'd be no better than McDonald's,
Denny's,
Jack in the Box,
Arby's,
Burger King,
Little Caesars Pizza,
Albertsons,
El Pollo Loco,
Lucky, Safeway, your local butcher shop, Domino's Pizza. And if I did sacrifice those larger animals, I'd be no better than the customers who go to Lucky and Safeway and Burger King and all those places. The point is, we're all involved in some aspect of animal sacrifice. But I still love animals. There are many people who say they would never hurt a fly, but as you can see, I hurt only flies.
Thank you for watching this episode of Satanic Views.